I am Michael. Hear me now, not as a stranger who stands at the edge of your life, but as one who has watched the light that lives inside you flicker and then blaze. I come to you this morning with a message the heavens whispered into the stillness when dawn first touched your face. Jesus, the Christ love that moves through all things, whispered your name. Do not shrug away this quiet that arrives like a hand laid across your heart. A divine blessing is racing after you, a blessing shaped to meet the precise ache, the precise longing that you carry. Open it, receive it. Let it change the way you breathe. This is not flattery. This is not a promise of one effortless miracle. This is a summons. Step up, step into, and step through what is set before you. You were crafted for resilience. You were forged from stars and storms and soft mercies. You have survived beginnings that shattered you and endings that surprised you with quiet gifts. Now, hear my voice as both shield and sword. I will stand guard at your threshold, but you must open the door. Know who you rue are more than the sum of your mistakes and your regrets. You are not defined by the worst day you have lived or the loudest criticism you have carried inside yourself. You are a being of sacred worth, threaded into a tapestry of purpose. That is not an abstract idea. It is factual. Your life has influence. Your breath carries consequence. Every small decision, the integrity of the words you speak, the kindness you choose in the tiniest moment bends fate toward healing. If the world has taught you to measure worth by output, fame, or the applause of others, let me cut away that false ledger. True measure is interior. The courage to say sorry. The courage to keep trying when hope is thin. The courage to receive help without shame. These quiet acts are revolutions. They are the currency of heaven. Receive the blessing, but prepare for Warka. Blessing cannot simply be wished into being and then carried like a trinket. Blessings are invitations to align. When Jesus whispered your name, that was not an empty echo. That was a recognition, a covenantal nod that the divine sees the particularities of you. Your small, brave choices, your sleepless nights, your private prayers. To receive the blessing, come forward with open hands and honest eyes. Practical alignment. Make sacred space, literal and internal. Clear a corner of your room. Clear a corner of your mind. Light a candle, breathe deeply, and ask for clarity. Name one thing you will release today. Say it aloud. I release _. The air hears you. Name one thing you will accept. Say it aloud. I accept _. The sky hears you. These acts are small but catalytic. They signal readiness. They tune you to the frequency of the help that rushes to meet you. Learn to stand in your authority. Am called a warrior because the world requires protection for what is fragile and sacred. But you are a warrior too, not because you must fight others, but because you must stand for your soul. Boundaries are holy. Saying no is a prayer of honor to the self and to others. Do not confuse compassion with permission to be consumed. When you feel that old compulsion to please at the expense of your peace, remember, protecting your inner life is not selfish. It is an act of stewardship. The same light that flows through you will flow more fully when you steward it well. Set limits. Speak truths with gentleness and firmness. Allow those who cannot honor you to step away, so those who can walk forward in love may come closer. Courage to change tenderness while you do change is not a clean line. It is a knot you untie with patience and a little ruthless honesty. You will stumble. Commit to returning to your intention again and again. Treat yourself with the compassion you would offer a child learning to walk. Hold their hand, cheer for every wobbly step, and do not scold the fall. Practical steps for change. Break big goals into micro steps. If you want to heal, start with one short meditation a day or one warm conversation a week. Celebrate the small. Journal one small victory each night. It trains the soul to notice progress. Remove one toxic element from your day. It could be a habit, a nap, a relationship pattern. See what dawns in the space left behind. The power of forgiveness and what it really means. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is not excusing harm. Forgiveness is the act of no longer allowing a past injury to set the terms of your present life. Imagine forgiveness as cutting a rope that tethers you to a burning building. You are not condoning the fire. You are freeing yourself to run toward rescue and repair. If you cannot forgive another yet, begin by forgiving yourself for not being ready. Healing is a process. Do not accelerate it with shame. Ask for help. Say aloud, I ask for courage to forgive when it is right, and wisdom to protect myself always. Allow time. Leave space. Keep moving. How to receive protection and guidance. The heavens do not intrude. Guidance desires consent. Call my name. Call the name of Jesus. Call on whatever holy language opens your heart. Prayer is a technology of the soul, a practical mechanism that aligns intention with energy. Speak clearly and simply. I accept guidance. I invite healing. I open to the blessings sent for me. Then sit quietly. The answer may arrive in images, in a sudden insight, in a human who appears at the right moment. Be ready by cultivating silence. Silence is the vacuum where revelation enters. courage to act when fear rises. Fear is a sentinel. It protects you from danger, but it is often confused with leadership. When fear speaks loudly, do not hand it the steering wheel. Acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to keep you safe. Then do the next right thing anyway. Techniques for fear. Label it. Say, "This is fear," and notice what it does to your body. The act of naming diminishes its power. Breathe into the place the fear grips. Slow exhale, long enough to ask, "What would love do here?" Move toward small acts of bravery. Each tiny confrontation with fear strengthens you. Spiritual disciplines that root you. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is a path back to freedom. The smallest spiritual disciplines compound into deep transformation. Try these. Morning centering. 5 minutes of breath prayer immediately after waking. Inhale, light. Exhale, lead me. Repeat 10 times. Daily gratitude. Name 3 things each night that were gifts. Make them specific, not people, but Jade's laugh on the bus. Sabbath practice. A half day a week where you do not work. Protect your soul's wiring. Rest is not a luxury. It is a spiritual practice. Service. Give 1 hour a week to something that helps another. Service loosens the grip of self-focus and draws you into communal grace. You are part of a web. Choose your company wisely. Are never meant to carry the load alone. The right community can be oxygen. The wrong company can be smog. Seek people who speak truth tenderly and who celebrate growth rather than feeding fear. How to choose community. Look for people who keep their promises. Find those who can hold your vulnerability without taking advantage. Build a circle that includes mentors, friends, and a person who will speak truth to you even when it's uncomfortable. Asterisk, and be someone's safe harbor. There is healing in carrying one another. Hope as an active force. Hope is not passive wishfulness. It is an active, creative force that sets intention and then shows up for the work. Hope asks questions like, "What if?" and then answers with action. Nurture it as you would a child. Talk kindly to it. Feed it realistic plans. Protect it from cynicism. When despair whispers that nothing will change, answer with one concrete thing you can do right now. The small motion breaks the spell. Align your life with your work of the soul. There is work the world asks of you, and there is work your soul aches to do. The intersection of these two, where your skills meet great need and your heart sings, this is the vocation your life beckons you into. It may not be a job title. It may be a way of being. Exercises to discover it. List what you would do even if you were paid nothing. List the problems in your community you want to see solved. Find where those lists intersect. Begin with one small project that brings them together. You will find purpose not by searching outwardly forever, but by doing small, faithful acts in the direction of what matters. When you feel unworthy, this is what I tell you: unworthiness is a shadow. It takes the shape of what it fears most. When you feel unworthy, remember these truths. You were created for goodness. You are held even when you fall. Redemption is not only for the spectacularly holy. It is for the ordinary, the messy, the human. Speak this into yourself. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of healing. I accept grace. Repeat it until the words train your heart to new behavior. The language of surrender, not defeats surrender, is a mystery to many because they mistake it for giving up. True surrender is an active yielding to what is larger. It is trusting that some things are wiser than our immediate will. Surrender does not mean you will not fight. It means you will fight with aligned purpose, not frantic desperation. Practice surrender. Offer your plans to the divine each morning. If this is for my highest good, guide my steps. If not, close the doors I should not walk through. Release anxious scripting. Stop replaying what-if scenarios. Instead, ask, what is the next right thing? Accept outcomes with dignity. If something fails, examine, learn, and set a new course. Holiness in the everyday holiness is not only found in cathedrals or in ecstatic moments. It is in the washing of dishes with gratitude, in the steady email answered with kindness, in the patience of driving in a difficult lane. Sacredness is woven into the ordinary. When you treat the ordinary as holy, your life becomes a continuous altar. Practical ways to make ordinary holy. Offer a silent blessing before meals. When you put on clothes, imagine putting on dignity and purpose before sleep. Recount 3 ways you showed love that day. Healing body and soul. Together, your body is a temple of life and deserves care. Neglecting it is often spiritual poverty disguised as busyness. Healing moves faster when you care for the whole of you. Spirit, body, mind. Begin with basics. Hydrate. Small changes in water intake alter mood and cognition. Move. Daily motion. A walk. A stretch unblocks stuck energy. Sleep. Treat sleep as a schedule, not a reward. Also, seek counseling when pain is deep. Asking for professional help is not a failure. It is a brave allocation of resources to a long-term investment. Your well-being, courageous prayer, specific and persistent. When you pray, be specific. Vague prayers are like friendly birds that fly without a destination. Ask with clarity, then wait, but do not wait passively. Prepare the terrain for the answer. A pattern, petition. Name what you need. Gratitude. Thank for what is already present. Surrender and trust the result. Repeat. Pray not only for yourself, but for someone who has harmed you, for a system that needs reform, for the child who needs nourishment. Intercessory prayer is powerful because it connects your will with the healing of the world. Accountability, the hidden accelerant of growth. Living an examined life with someone at your side does not reduce your freedom. It increases it. Invite accountability. Find a friend to check in with weekly. Set goals and report honestly. Humility without accountability is like a ship without a compass. Accountability keeps arrogance and self-deception at bay. It helps you tell the truth about small compromises before they become large patterns. The mystic and the practical together. Spirituality without practicality becomes dreamy. Practicality without spirit becomes dull. You must hold both, the mystic's awe and the practical worker's hands-on grit. Let wonder awaken you each morning, and let discipline carry you through the afternoon. Balance them. Start your day with an awe. Practice reading a psalm, watching the sunrise. End your day reviewing what you did and what you learned. Let inspiration fuel action, and let action invite deeper inspiration. Hope for the future and the work it requires. There is hope for you. Not because everything will be easy, but because your life matters and because the forces of good are real. To align with hope, stay committed to truth. Cultivate friendships that will defend your possibility. Create routines that sustain you when storms come. Remember, the future is not merely foreshadowed by your past. It is authored by the present choices you make. Words I press into your hands. Now take these phrases and use them as prayers, mantras, or shields. Speak them aloud when doubt comes. I am seen. I am known. I am loved. I choose courage over comfort. Grace finds me, and I accept it. I will act with both mercy and clarity. Say them at dawn. Say them in the middle of the night. Let them become the drumbeat of your steady march forward. A practical ritual to begin each day. Sit upright. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe in for 4 counts. Hold to exhale 8. Whisper, light, lead me. Repeat 10 times. Name one intention for the day. One thing you will do that aligns with your highest self. Offer a short prayer for someone you love. This 5-minute ceremony will reorient you. It will mark your day holy. When you must step into leadership if you are called to lead in your home, workplace, or community. Lead with tenacity and tenderness. Your decisions will ripple. Use power as service, not as a way to prove worth. seek counsel. Ask for wisdom. Protect the vulnerable. Leadership practices. Listen more than you speak. Make decisions with both conviction and humility. Own mistakes quickly and correct course faster. Love as an action. Love is not merely feeling. It is a verb. Love means showing up, even when you would rather hide. Love means doing the work of repair. Love means being consistent. Let your life be the echo of the love you wish to give. When you fail, return quickly. Everyone fails. The question is not if, but how fast you return. When you falter, make repair. Apologize. Rebuild. Restart. Remember that a broken thing can be made stronger. At the broken places, final charge. This is the critical part where you choose. The blessing that chases you will not overtake you like a freight train if you refuse to move. It will meet you where you are, but it asks for your consent, your participation, your courage. I stand with my blade down, a promise of protection. But I will not carry you forward in place of your faithfulness. So, rise, breathe, name your one next step and take it. Let small, obedient acts accumulate into a life that reflects holy purpose. Walk with the confidence of someone who has been called by name by the divine. When trials come, remember, they are not punishments, but refineries. They will test what you have built and clarify what you must let go. A closing benediction. May you be surrounded by light. May fear find no lodging in your heart. May love be your ever-present companion, and may courage be the steady rhythm of your days. If you are weary, rest in the knowledge that you are not alone. If you are joyful, give thanks and multiply that joy through service. Know that Jesus, divine love, and I, the Archangel who defends and stands alongside, gird you. Your name was spoken this morning. The blessing is not a rumor. It comes bearing healing. Receive it. Be transformed by it. Asterisk. I am Michael. Hear me now, not as a distant rumor, but as a presence at the edge of your awareness, as steady as a breath and as fierce as a sunrise. I come bearing a message that was spoken over you in the hush between night and morning. Jesus, the divine love that moves through all things, whispered your name. Do not let that whisper be the last thing you hear and the only thing you fail to answer. A divine blessing is in pursuit of you. It is shaped precisely for the places in you that ache, for the parts of your life that long to be made whole. This blessing is not incidental. It seeks you intentionally. Open to it. Receive it fully. Do not ignore what the heavens have set in motion on your behalf. My voice carries steadiness. My message carries urgency and compassion. I do not come to condemn. I come to call you into the life for which you were formed. A life marked by courage, rooted in love, and guided by purpose. What follows is a long and steady word for you, a spiritual map and a practical manual given with angelic clarity and human tenderness. Read it slowly. Let the words land. Let them ask questions and offer paths. Take what speaks to you. The rest may find you when you are ready. Asterisk, when the divine whispered your name. It was not an abstract utterance. The voice that called you knows the count of your days, the pattern of your tears, the secret chords that pull at your heart. Naming is not merely to identify. It is to acknowledge. To be named by love is to be seen in your particularity. You are not a faceless figure in a crowd. You are known. You are called. You are chosen to walk a path that only you can walk. This naming is not a ticket to effortless ease. It is an invitation, a covenantal nod from the divine that says, I see you and I will move for you. Recognize it. Stay awake to it. When a voice, inner, subtle, or loud, says your name and brings peace, lean toward that voice. When confusion rises, remember that the whisper you heard is a starting point. What follows is your response. I, receiving the blessing. Posture, more than petition a blessing, chases those who will accept it. The chase itself is sacred. It is turf work of grace trying to meet readiness. How do you meet it? Not with frantic grasping, but with a posture of openness and responsibility. Blessing expects participation. It does not strip you of agency. It invites you to align your will. Practical posture. Silence. Begin with silence. 10 minutes each morning where you sit without a device, without a list, simply breathing and listening. Let the whisper of your own name be heard without the static of worry. Honesty. Speak truth to yourself. Where are you depleted? Where are you hiding? Blessing lands where you are honest enough to meet it. Simplicity. Name one thing to release and one thing to receive each day. Speak them aloud. Saying anchors intention into the world. These are not magical formulas. They are disciplines of attention. Blessings often meet the disciplined heart because discipline creates a readiness for good to find. Purchase. 3. The work of courage and humility together. I am called a warrior, for I stand between light and harm. But the warrior I am is not violence. It is courage wrapped in humility. You are invited to be a warrior of your own life, to protect what is holy in you, to fight for what is good, and to stand firm when storms arise. Yet the warrior must also bow. Pride and bravado are not strength. They are armor that hides a brittle heart. Practice this paradox. Courage. Do the thing your soul knows it must do, but your fear resists. Speak a truth. change a habit. Start a conversation that matters. Humility, when you are wrong, admit it. When you hurt, ask for help. When you grow, celebrate others with you. Bravery without humility becomes tyranny. Humility without courage becomes passivity. Together, they form a spine. IV. Boundaries. The holy yes and the holy no you have been taught to please, to perform, to be useful. But your soul's health requires limits. Boundaries are not walls of isolation. They are gates of preservation. Saying no when your soul needs rest is a holy act. Saying yes to what aligns with your deepest values is a holy act. How to steward boundaries. Define, know what you will and will not tolerate in your life. Declare, speak your limits with calm clarity, not with aggression. Maintain, enforce them with the gentle firmness of someone who loves themselves enough to protect their edges. Your yeses should be a reflection of what you love, not what you fear. On grief, loss, and the refining fire life will break you in certain seasons. This is not a betrayal. It is the kill in which compassion and strength are formed. Grief is not a problem to be solved. It is a presence to be companioned. The divine weeps with you. Jesus knows what it is to feel the depth of loss. Your sorrow is not ignored in heaven. It is honored. How to walk through grief. Allow. Give yourself permission to feel without timetable. There is no polite schedule for sorrow. Remember, create a ritual of remembering what was beautiful. Light a candle, speak a name, write a letter you do not send. Reach. Grief isolates. Allow someone to hold the weight with you, a friend, a counselor, a spiritual companion. Refinement is slow. The fire that feels like destruction often leaves you more luminous if you survive with your heart intact. Forgiveness, the sharpest freedom. Forgiveness is confused in the world. It is not denying injustice or pretending pain didn't happen. Forgiveness is the deliberate act of freeing your heart from the tyranny of another's offense. It is cutting the rope that ties you to a past that keeps you small. Begin with small acts. Forgive a daily annoyance. Learn the muscle. Self-forgiveness. You are not exempt. You will have failed. Begin by forgiving yourself for the ways you have been unkind. Practicality. Forgiveness does not always mean reconciliation. Protect yourself. Forgiveness is an inner reconfiguration, not a risky unguarding. When you forgive, you reclaim energy. You move forward lighter. The theology of action. Faith that moves faith is not mere belief. Faith is momentum. When the divine whispered your name, an opportunity began to align. But opportunity requires motion. Prayer opens the door. Your feet must walk through. Practical faith. Micro steps. If change feels too big, break it into 10 minute units. Start small and watch momentum grow. Consistency over intensity. Daily small obedience trumps sporadic heroics. Accountability. Invite someone to track your progress. Speak the truth about failure and success. The heavens assist the hands that are already reaching. 8. The work of compassion, not collapse. Compassion is the currency of healed communities. But compassion without discernment can lead to collapse. You can be tender without letting your tenderness be exploited. Healthy compassion, empathy with boundaries, feel with others. But do not lose yourself in their story. Practical help. Give what you can sustain, not what drains you entirely. Teach others to steward. Encourage those you help to build their own capacity. Love that burns out is not loving. It is overwrought martyrdom. Steward your resources so you can love for the long haul. X. Surrender. The paradox of power surrender is not weakness. It is an aligned yielding that places your will under the larger wisdom of God. This surrender does not remove your responsibility. It clears the clutter of frantic control so you may act with clarity. Practices of surrender. Daily offering. Each morning, offer your day. If this is for my highest good, guide me. If not, close the doors, letting go of scripting. Stop replaying endless fantasies of what if. Ask, what is the next right thing? Trust in small proofs. Track small answers to prayer. Trust grows by practice. Surrender is a muscle. Exercise. ITX, the discipline of rest. Sabbath, as resistance. We live in an economy of constant motion. Yet, your soul was made for rhythm, work, and rest. Sabbath is not laziness. Sabbath is a declaration that your worth is not your productivity. Rest renews the imagination and renews the heart. Begin with a weekly pause. Even an afternoon free from work can be a Sabbath. Pocket rests, 5-minute breathings throughout the day. Resist the rush. Say no to busyness that does not serve your soul. When you rest, you restore the capacity to steward blessings. Community, the place grace takes shape. You were not made to journey alone. Community is the soul's laboratory. It is where theology is tested, kindness is practiced, and wounds are healed. Seek a people who celebrate authenticity, not performance. What to look for? Consistent presence, people who show up, truth-telling with tenderness, those who hold you accountable with love, celebration and lament, a community that rejoices and mourns with candor. If you cannot find such a circle, be the one who plants it. Begin with one person and expand. XII, the language of prayer, clear and brave prayer, need not be ornate to be powerful. Speak simply. Speak honestly. Use your own words. The divine listens more to the posture of your heart than the eloquence of your speech. Model, address, call on what is real for you. Ask, name your need clearly. Thank, offer gratitude now for what will come. Release, trust the outcome. Prayers anchored in gratitude tune you to receive. XIII on calling and vocation. The soul's sweet work. You are called to a work that bears fruit in your hands and light in your heart. Sometimes vocation is vocational in the occupational sense. Sometimes it is a manner of being that saturates your relationships. Discernment exercises. List joy, activities. What do you lose time in? There lies a clue. Identify need. Where does the world ache? Where do your gifts meet need? Prototype. Try small projects. See what sustains you. Vocation is less about a single, above-the-fold destiny, and more about faithfulness in small opportunities. XIV money, power, and integrity. The world will lure with currency and influence. Money and power are tools. Their morality depends on how they are wielded. Let integrity guide transactions. Use resources to enlarge goodness, not to enlarge ego. Principles. Generosity. Give cheerfully and intelligently. Transparency. Keep accounts clear. Do not build your house on smoke. Fairness. Resist shortcuts that exploit others. Wealth is not sinful. Greed is. Use what you have to feed the hungry corners of the world and of your heart. XV, the posture of gratitude. The magnet for great gratitude is not denial of hardship. It is a solar lens that allows light to concentrate where it otherwise would scatter. Practicing gratitude rewires perception. Begin with small lists. Name the surprising, the ordinary, the painful that taught you something. Daily habit, 3 specifics. Each night, list 3 specific things that were gifts that day. Thank someone. Send 1 short note of thanks each week. Reframe when trouble comes. Ask, what can I learn? Not why me. Gratitude cultivates resilience and invites more to be thanked. XVI. Healing, a partnership healing, is rarely instantaneous. It is often a pilgrimage. Invite, help, prayer, counsel, medical care, community. The divine works through means. Reject shame around needing support. Steps. Assess what hurts. Name it. Plan. Seek resources and professionals where necessary. Pray and act. Combine spiritual petition with practical treatment. Healing is relational. Let others travel with you. XVI. The enemy of smallness. Comparison shrinks the soul. Your life's call is not a competition. Measure not by the scoreboard of others, but by fidelity to your own calling. Celebrate others without zero-sum thinking. Replace comparison with curiosity. Ask what you can learn from another's path. Inspiration. Let others' success fuel your own effort. Contentment. Work joyfully in your own lane. Comparison steals joy. Gratitude returns it. 18. Courageous generosity. Give away what keeps you full. Generosity is a sign that abundance lives in you. Give time, attention, resources, and mercy, but give from overflow, not from scarcity. When you give well, you become a conduit for the blessing chasing you. Practices tithes of time. Commit an hour a week to help another. Intentional giving. Give to causes that align with your values. Everyday mercy. Offer a small kindness when it costs you little but helps someone greatly. Generosity repairs the world in small increments. Asterisk 19. The discipline of learning. Never stop becoming. Humility requires learning. Be a student of life. Read, listen, observe. Allow your mind to be stretched by truth, even when it unsettles you. Growth often feels awkward. That is the sign of expansion. Habit. Learn weekly. Dedicate time to read a book, listen to a lecture, or study a text that enlarges you. Discuss. Talk about what you learn with friends. Apply. Turn knowledge into practice. Wisdom is love matured. XX. Final charge. Step toward the blessing you have been called. A blessing pursues you. Yet blessings are not parachutes dropped without consent. They are gifts that meet preparation. Take one concrete step today. Do not wait for perfect clarity. Choose one small, faithful act and do it. A final, practical ritual. Sit quietly for 3 minutes. Place your hand over your heart. Whisper the name you were given yesterday or today. Feel it settle. Name one fear aloud. Then name one small action to move against that fear. Take that action within the next 24 hours. Offer a brief prayer of thanks and surrender.